Hello, everybody, and welcome to Spiritual Successor, a comedy video game design podcast inspired by Polygon's Cool Games, Inc. I am your host, AJ Hart.
And I am your other host, Blake Rea. Hello, everybody, and welcome. We are a comedy game design podcast where we take your lovely submissions from YouTube,
That's not
Twitter,
official channels.
Fuck you. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and...
What? Nope, that one's not true at all.
I'm trying to plug our Instagram a little bit more.
We have an Instagram. Don't give submissions there.
I haven't posted on it in like 5 months.
And Reddit.
AJ.
Yeah?
We have to be a little bit quieter than usual.
We do have to be a little bit quieter.
In our studio space, we're part of like a bigger warehouse, so there's like other people in the building right now. And we're recording on a Monday.
Because I just got back from Vegas. Me, AJ Hart. Blake didn't go to Vegas with me.
Yeah, because I'm broke. I'm a broke bitch.
Blake didn't go to Vegas with me again.
Well, I mean, hey, you have a platform. Invite some of our friends, some of our lovely Twitter friends. Go to Vegas with AJ. I don't know.
Come to Vegas with me next time.
He'll get, I don't know, drunk and just stay.
I'll get drunk and we'll play craps together.
Play craps?
Yeah, I love playing craps in Vegas.
You like crapping in Vegas?
I hate you. So everybody, just go ahead and sit back, crack open a brewski unless you're driving or at work. Don't crack a brewski open there. And just maybe open up a little nice Pepsi. Sit back. We're doing a chill episode today.
Oh, we're doing a chill episode?
We're doing a chill one because if we get too loud and rowdy, we may lose our recording space, and that would make me very sad.
My grandma would come in here and beat us up, basically.
Yeah.
I work for my grandma, so like we're in their warehouse. So my grandma will come in here and tell us we're shitty and then serve us up some cookies. It's really weird. My grandma has a really weird operation. AJ, do you want me to give you the first submission?
Yeah, why don't you give me a video game submission?
You know, AJ, you know what like the big discussion is going on right now for like video gaming? Like what's the next generation of consoles going to look like, right?
Oh, yeah, that is a big topic.
Gazer actually from Twitter at JustGazer gave us a really good submission. Oh no, Blake, AJ, Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony have all fallen into the fusion pit. Tell us what the horrible, amazing new mega console that crawls leaps forth.
So Nintendo Soft.
Nintendo Soft. So is it going? It has to be portable like a Nintendo Switch.
It does have to be portable like a Nintendo Switch.
Uh-huh.
It has to be fun to play like a PlayStation, but it has to have no games you want to play like an Xbox.
Hey, fuck you, Nintendo. You know what I've always wanted? He actually gave me they gave me a pretty good idea. You ever play with drones? Like the DJI Phantom stuff?
Oh yeah, I love drones.
There's a programmable thing where you can actually just tell it to follow you. I no longer want to carry my Switch. I want to walk it like it's a Pokemon. So I have my little Switch walking next to me, and it'll play games for me. You know, because I'm a lazy fuck.
Here's my question: is it walking next to you on? Is it flying like a drone, or is it using the advanced Joy-Con vibration technology to walk with you like those little Joy-Con bugs?
Yeah,
from the Nintendo Labo set.
That's all Nintendo pitched to this console. It's just like, no, we need to up our Labo game.
So it's got Nintendo's Labo functionality. Nintendo's portability. What is it going to get from Sony and Microsoft? If we're going to lean into the mobile side of things, I think that Sony for a long time was the only way that people were able to get their horny visual novels.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Before we had the Switch marketplace, we had to use the PlayStation Vita, which existed just for horny visual novels.
Why didn't I have a PS Vita? Why am I not playing horny visual novels?
You just weren't with the times, my man.
Well, maybe horny visual novels just aren't that good anyways.
Don't you dare say anything like that ever again.
Oh, is that insulting your Fate Go visual novel?
Yes, it is.
Your horny saber. Real question. What? I want to ask you live on public air. Do you play Fate Go just so you can see more Saber?
Of course I play Fate so that I can see Saber. Actually, that's not...
I respect you. I respect you.
If that was true, though, I would probably actually play the old visual novels, but I haven't...
Oh, that's right. They are like actual... They were games before the anime and shit,
Yeah, there's
right?
like an old visual novel for Fate Stay Night. And then that got adapted into an anime, and I think Fate Zero might have been like a book before it got adapted to an anime. I'm not entirely certain of all of the production of all of the Fate series.
Sorry, I was spacing out. I was thinking about how cute Saber's voice is.
Yeah, it's
she's
great.
Like domineering and mean sounding and really cute.
Hey Blake,
yeah,
I need you to stop hitting on my womans.
on your fictional woman.
Please stop hitting on my fictional woman.
But she's the coolest, dude. She's got an invisible sword and is badass.
So we're bringing Nintendo's mobileness. We're bringing Sony's horniness. What are we going to bring from Xbox other than
Sturdy.
either one?
Sturdy? I think it's the sturdiest of the consoles. I don't know how you feel about this, but I have always liked the Xbox controller more than I've liked the PS4 controller.
I've always liked how sturdy the Xbox 360 controller and
it's big and beefy.
It's big. It
can be shared.
It feels like something you could really do some damage with. You know what I mean? Like if I throw a PlayStation controller at a TV, the controller's probably going to break. If I yeet the Xbox controller at anything,
they are going to break.
That's breaking. It's essentially like having a Nokia but bigger.
Oh my god, that's a word I haven't heard in a long time.
Nokia.
Okay, so are we going to take a little bit? It turns out the black sheep, Nokia wanted to invest in the gaming market. Also, what about Google? Are we adding Google?
No, if we add the Google Stadia to this thing, it just means it won't have any games.
It'll have a killer ad campaign, but zero results.
Subscription-based games that you pay $60 so that you're allowed to play it, but if you ever stop paying the subscription, you're not allowed to game anymore.
Wait, is that actually how the Stadia
works? Yeah, that's how Stadia works. It's horrible.
I fucking hate that. How much is the Is it like the full price of a console, like $300?
I've got no idea on how much the Stadia costs.
Hey, Stadia, fuck you. You're a cheapskate.
Dude, this is what happens when everything becomes like subscription-based.
You know what? Honestly, AJ, you know what? This actually brings up a good conversation. So we have our Nintendo Soft. What's the competing console? Because every console needs a competitor. So I'm thinking, actually, no, Sega.
Is Atari going to come back?
I was thinking Sega, but Sega and Atari are now Nintendo properties, I think.
Oh, damn.
So it could be Google Stadia and it combines with some other. No, you know what it combines with?
Disney Game Studios.
No. What's that rapper that recently invested in gaming consoles and controllers?
What?
You didn't hear about this?
No.
It was this guy, this rapper. Fuck me. I'm not a good reporter right now, but this rapper invested in a Chinese knockoff gaming company. Hold on.
That sounds like some shit like Dr. Dre would do.
Hey guys, I'm going to check back in with you in a second. I need to search this on Google.
All right, throwing in the edit right now. Kaboosh!
I think it's Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy Games, I think. Yeah, Soulja Boy game console. Holy fuck.
Soulja Boy was gonna do a Game Boy console.
Hold on. I just. Okay, I'm back.
Okay, who's this article from?
So you remember like our early adolescent rappers, Soulja Boy?
Yeah, I believe he's responsible for the song Superman.ho?
I don't know.
All right, cool.
But he started his own game console. And
Why?
And immediately got told to stop because it was just stealing other people's stuff, like it was stealing other people's games.
Oh, Jesus.
So he says, and I quote, "I want to take over the gaming industry one console at a time. I'm sorry, Soulja Boy, I don't think that's going to work."
The good news is that this implies that he's ready to do a second console.
So Google liked his tenacity.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, okay, Stadia failed, obviously. So now we're going to come up with the Soulja Boy Stadia, which is going to be the competing console for the Nintendo Soft console.
Yes.
And that's going to be our war. Now, okay, I'm leaning a little bit into this game. What are each of their flagship games?
So
I think the Soulja Boy
is just Smash. I want to whatever.
It's Smash with every single like franchise character from all of their systems.
Yeah, it's got
so like Xbox
it's just
has Gears,
Smash, except now it has Marcus Phoenix and it's got
Master Chief,
Sly Cooper.
I was thinking Spyro
and Spyro
or Crash Bandicoot.
They get 2 representatives each. Sly Cooper and Spyro and Master Chief and Marcus Phoenix.
Sweet. All right, I'm into that. All right, so what's I think our Google Stadia.
Our Google Stadia game. If it's Soulja Boy just stealing things, I'm gonna say it's just a palette swap for the 50 Cent Blood on the Sands video game.
Oh, what about Shaq Fu? We should also put that on there, like a remaster of Shaq Fu.
It's also a remaster. Well, air quotes remaster. It's just like palette swapped, and then every time it would say Shaq, it says Soulja Boy.
Soulja Boy Fu.
Same with 50 Cent's Blood on the Sand. It is just 50 Cent's Blood on the Sand.
Is that an actual game?
Yeah, 50 Cent had 2 video games that he created that licensed by him.
Are they like GTA if knockoffs?
I think they're just third-person shooters, and I've heard that they're actually decent.
Interesting. God, I miss like branded video games. Like I was hypothesizing, like when the whole like Wendy's was coming up with their RPG thing, or like KFC launched, don't touch my Kentucky Fried Chicken. I don't know.
I remember the dark days, the last year.
I want more of that. Like after that was happening, I was like, man, we're going to be rushing into a golden era of just shitty franchise games, and I'm so about it. All right, AJ, give me a game submission.
I got one for you. This one comes from Cultist on Twitter @Vi for Violence.
Hello. I think they're
new submission.
Yeah.
Cultist suggests a Fiverr Uber Sims style game where you rent out people and control their lives with a POV camera strapped to their head for a per hour rate. Now, obviously, this is just the plot of the movie Gamer, starring
Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler, thank you so much.
Dude, I love that movie.
That movie is so fucking
it's like
over
it's
the
kind
top.
of a sleeper hit. Like I remember anytime I watch it, I'm like, man, this would be so cheesy, but it's not.
Here's my question. Have you watched it since you were 14? Because
Yeah,
I loved that movie at 14, but I feel like if I went back to it now, I'd be like, wow, this is a movie made for 14-year-old AJ.
Honestly, no, I don't think so, because it's over the top, but it's over the top in the way that's actually interesting.
A guy pisses into a gas tank so it can drive. Blake.
Yeah, and then there's also has to deal with the
His
whole.
idea
It
was,
also
I'm
deals
gonna
with the socio-political things of like having to sell your body to be somebody else's avatar, and that's like what strenuous stuff that puts on a relationship. It had interesting adult beats in it.
All right, I'll trust you.
Don't get me wrong, he did double-wield shotguns at one point.
Hell yeah. Well, so did The Rundown, and The Rundown's like the most powerfully written movie ever created.
Oh, wait, that's right. Dwayne The Rock Johnson dual-wielded pump shotguns in that movie, didn't
In The Rundown. Yeah, baby. It's the best movie ever.
See, that's so dumb, because then, I don't know how they did it, but like the idea of reloading, like cocking the shotguns, where he has to like throw them up, grab them both at the same time, and
he does do that. And there's another scene where he throws them onto a counter and then slides the thing forward.
Oh
and
my
back
fucking
on
god!
the
I totally forgot about that. That's such a good scene.
You know what? Fuck this. This is the Rundown podcast now. Welcome to the Rundown podcast.
Welcome to Rundown, a rundown on the greatest movie ever made.
The Rundown starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
100 episodes coming at you. Okay, so we lost the thread a little bit.
What if Gamer was real?
Well, no. I want to take a different route with this, because
Okay.
I think people have discussed that idea a million times.
Okay.
I want to put GoPros on kids and follow the kids as they get into weird shenanigans, because you know what this feels like? It feels like it feels like one of those movies where they like a guy's on a really shitty date and doesn't know how to talk to women. And he has to wear the earpiece to be like, you say this, and it turns out the things he's being told to say are still stupid.
Yeah,
so it feels a little bit like that, but I feel like we can have a little bit more lighthearted fun.
I love
where
this.
It's like kids controlling kids.
You get like fifth graders, and then you get like toddlers, and you give the toddler the headset, and you give the fifth grader the headset. And the way this works is there will be challenges right now, and it's a little bit like that one video game, Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes.
Oh god, I love that game.
You know what I mean? Where like one person has the headset
that the other people can't.
Yes, one player is given a booklet, and they're like all the instructions that they have to tell the other person to do, so that the other person that's in the room with the bomb knows how to disarm the bomb. So the fifth graders are all given the instructions on what the actual like Survivor-esque challenges are. You know, you have to run over, grab the ball, army crawl under the net, and then put the ball in the basket.
You know, it'd be really fun.
The fifth graders have to coach the toddlers through this. Bonus points if it's always siblings.
I was thinking you can do a really fun thing where it's twins, where it's like one twin is sick that day, and he's like, but I desperately need you to go in, my twin, to go live my life, and I'll put you on an earpiece. So like, it's like. You ever play the game Kindergarten, where it's just one singular day, but it has multiple endings within that one day, and you have to play it multiple times to see the story? You could do something like that, where like you have to one. This could be like a 2-player game, where like one of us is controlling, the other one has the final say on what they could do. Because then that can start like if you and I were playing it, and you're telling me to do something, and I decide against it. Then we can that can have real tension between you and I.
What situations would that cause? Like, because my game show tactic, the winning pair of children get $1 million.
$1 million? What would a 5-year-old do with $1 million? Actually, that's not fifth grade, is it?
The 5-year-old is the toddler, and they ain't getting a dime.
That sounds like some older brother
bullshit.
bullshit.
The fifth grader is going to turn that into Magic cards or Pokemon cards or DS games.
No, dude, what's the big thing right now? He's going to turn it into 1 million Fortnite battle passes.
He's going to turn it into 1 million Fortnite skins.
Gotta get that John Wick skin, dude. Okay, I like that. You want me to pitch you another game?
Yeah, pitch me another game.
Okay. Hey, Jay, you know Valentine's Day was last Friday, right?
It was.
We did get a lot of love-themed games.
Ooh, tell me, if there's love in the air. Hit me with it.
This one comes to us from Mr. Wright 95 at Mr. 95. Wow, that fucked with my brain. Mr. 95, Mr. Wait, no, holy shit.
I believe in you, come on.
Mr. Wright 95 at Wright 95 Mr. See, that fucks with your brain. Love is Dead, a zombie.
A zombie?
God, I'm an idiot. Love is Dead, a zombie dating simulator.
You got it!
I just need to speak super slow for this talk podcast.
I told you, it's the Trill episode. We've already cracked open our Pepsis.
Neither of us have Pepsis.
Not us, but our listener did.
Oh, okay. I hope you're enjoying your Pepsi.
I hope it's a good Pepsi.
I don't drink too many because I hear they're really bad for your cholesterol.
Well, probably it's soda.
Is soda bad for cholesterol, or is it bad for, like, blood?
A lot of things are probably bad for cholesterol.
What is cholesterol exactly?
So cholesterol is...
I've always pictured that Futurama episode where Zoidberg was spreading it on his toast like butter. So I just picture there's blood...
Spreading what?
Like cholesterol. Like, it's like, I whenever I think of cholesterol, I think it's just like butter in your veins. You know what I mean?
Okay, that works. I don't know what cholesterol is either. These are things I don't have to worry about now that I'm a 23-year-old, but they are things that I'm going to have to worry about in 4 months when I'm a 24-year-old. Oh, because the age is just going to become so horrible.
That's when cholesterol matters, is when you're in your mid-20s.
When you're in your mid-20s, yeah. You hit 24, you're probably going to start thinking about cholesterol. 25, you start to feel cholesterol. 26, you die?
Holy shit. Okay, but circling back. So if this is a zombie dating sim, you know how they all died?
How?
Bad cholesterol.
Bad cholesterol.
They died at 27 from bad cholesterol. You know, actually, I like that idea because you know what I fucking hate? Well, I don't hate it. I think it's gonna be wholesome and sweet. Most dating sims are for teenagers.
Yeah.
There's no dating sim out there for like adults.
You're okay. Let's keep this going.
So I want to do like kind of an adult style simulator. So you're
Wink. Let's talk about an adult style simulator.
Wow, way to shit on my wholesome little.
You want to talk about an adult dating simulator?
Hey AJ, chill it. You're getting too fucky over there.
Sorry.
Clean yourself up, please.
Sorry.
Put your pants back on, please.
Sorry.
Okay, so what is this supposed to be? I'm trying to figure out a way of incorporating the zombie into a dating simulator. And the thing that stands out to me is if something dies or they don't truly die, so like maybe it could be a zombie doesn't die, right?
Yeah,
so
zombies
like,
never die.
So could it be
just like love?
Oh my God, that brings it's like till death do us part, but turns out I'll never die.
Yeah.
So, oh my God. So wait, is our main character a zombie? Is it a zombie gal dating zombie ladies?
It could be.
Okay.
I'm immediately imagining something like The Corpse Bride, but with a lot of different
that's really
brides.
Sweet. Okay. So maybe you could do a thing where like your character is living and then you're just trying to figure out who you want to I was about to say who you want to off yourself to, but that's not how love works or should work.
But it might be how it works in the zombie dating sim.
I don't know. Corpse Bride walked a really thin line of beauty. And
yeah, she killed that guy at the end of that movie, right?
No, he killed himself. He like drank the poison.
That's not much better.
I mean, yeah, she guided the horse to the poison water, but you know what I mean?
You can't make a horse drink poisoned water. You can just bring it to the poisoned watering hole.
I think we lost the thread on this.
Yeah, I got another video game submission for you.
Thank you, Wright.
This comes from Valentine Heart in Your Eyes, at Dust in Your Eyes. A trauma center game, except that you play as a centaur for disease control, investigating the suspicious events surrounding a mysterious viral outbreak at Monster High.
So you're like, oh my God, you know, it'd be a really cool visual.
High.
You know, it'd be a really cool visual. A
what?
Centaur in like one of those Casablanca trench coats with like the fedora, just like this big. Like even if you, I've always loved when big characters try to like put on like sneaky
tiny
clothing
jackets.
Because it's like it's not tiny jackets, but they try and like wear a big trench coat to cover up their identity and stuff. It's like, but they're still like huge and like always going to be noticed by people.
He's like, if he has the long jacket on and you see him from the front, it's like, oh, that's that's just a dude in a long jacket. And then you catch up from the side. Oh, that's a whole ass centaur.
Oh, I was picturing like the coat going all the way back over his like hind legs,
over his horse butt.
Over his horse butt, but you're just saying it only goes to like mid back.
It only goes to like mid back, like a normal, because it's a normal jacket. It's not tailored for his big centaur bod.
You know what this vibe has?
What?
Elephant Man. Remember the detective from Elephant Man?
Yeah.
That's the vibe I was going for.
Elephant Man, by the way, is a really, really kick-ass cyberpunk comic book. Everybody should read that.
Yes. So he's
a detective
for a trauma center.
At a monster high school. So there's a monster high. Let me read through this one more time.
So it's a disease that's affecting all monsters. Well, I mean, maybe that could be part of the mystery. It's like you're finding out the disease is only affecting certain monsters, and you can go like a Zootopia thing where it's like a certain monster is trying to rid all of a certain type of monster. Is this going to be like one of those find 'em games where you have to solve puzzles?
Yes,
because I've been watching a lot of the Game Grumps play that, and I'm like, I want to play more of those.
We could either take this monster game in like a puzzle solving detective game, or we could take it in like a Shenmue detective game, or like Deadly Premonition, where like it's a hyper built town where like everybody has different schedules and you have to understand people's schedules, because
my god, that's rad.
A lot of those like hyper scheduled games like Deadly Premonition or Shenmue, they're always based in reality, and there's not a lot of fun in that. But I'm very interested in like a game where it's like, oh, you need to go and ask Dracula a bunch of questions. Well, good luck. Dracula's only active during the nights.
Okay.
And on top of that, let's say that you want to go interview werewolf. You got to make sure you're not going to go interview a werewolf on a full moon, because if so, he's just going to be a huge D-bag.
You know, it'd be kind of cool too, where it's like you can only do certain interviews when you've unlocked certain items. So it could be like the werewolf. When you first approach them, they will actually attack you unless you have like something to defend yourself.
Yeah, you have a silver stick. And then he's like, I won't mess with you.
Yeah, either I won't mess with you, or like it'd be like, oh, thank you. I was in a panic, but you helped me get my senses back. I'll answer any of the questions you have.
Yeah, but
something like that.
I'm really into the idea that like the hyper schedule, like Shenmue has shit where like if you want to go talk to a bank teller, for example, you need to wait until the bank is at the right hours for you to go ask them shit. I want that level of like hyper scheduled world.
I couldn't,
but for a fantasy world where like shit's just weird.
See, you know, it'd be really cool too, because like if you're working for a trauma center, and one thing that I don't see explored in a whole lot of media, is when you live in a society where there's like a bunch of different beings, you can't really standardize things.
That's true.
Like imagine if there was like a second like human race or another race next to us. Like the things that they are poisonous to, or how their anatomy works, is so different to us. So I think some of the fun of this game would be discovering those anatomy things.
Oh yeah, that's
because
true.
Then that would dictate like where they are, where they live. It's like, this is going to be a weird pull.
Okay.
But do you remember my gym partner is a monkey?
Holy shit, I remember my gym partner is a monkey.
The thing that always fascinated me is that different classrooms and there were like different things for all the different types of students. Like there was like a waterway through the halls for all the aquatic kids.
For that one like dickwad dolphin kid.
Was it a dolphin or was it a shark? I don't know.
There was a dolphin that was really mean.
He wore a punk shirt and he was pretty dope. But then they also had like the jungle room, or like all of the tree houses on top of the school. So what if you did a similar thing like that, where like this school is made up of different biomes that have different requirements and different things? You can't find a character unless you know the character.
Yeah.
So it's like it's Monster Hunter studying.
It's Monster Hunter studying, but in like the nuance of a high school.
I'm into that.
Here's one thing that I want to touch base on really quick, because the naming is important to me.
Okay.
It's Trauma Centaur. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I'm going to put a pin in Trauma Centaur.
So dumb. Okay, go ahead.
Why don't you give me another one? Because I proposed Trauma Centaur.
Okay.
Before we move on, though, I really want to talk about like this disease. Like, is it like something where like the more popular vampire or like the more popular monsters are getting sick? Is it maybe like an attack from humans that found the monster high school? What is the actual mystery here in this? Because I think we're on the same page of like this weird hyper scheduled world that you have to run around in and ask the right questions.
I would love to do where it's like, I don't want to fall into the traditional thing. It's like, oh, it's the nerd kids getting revenge on the popular people, or the popular people just being dicks. I think it would be kind of cool where this school just recently started allowing human students to start attending.
And that's why the centaur is important, because like you're playing as a centaur is like the perfect mediary between man and monster.
Yeah. So like it could be that the maybe the elitist vampires don't want the humans there. Because I think or it could be, or we can just go into the standard like any D&D adventure. Humans are just racist towards everything.
Here's the thing,
which would suck.
Here's the thing, that's not true though. Like we all know human beings. We're all humans. If we found out that real vampires exist, we would never stop trying to jump them bones.
Really?
I mean, if you met a vampire,
I like goth ladies, and vampires are goth. So
here's everything I know about vampires. Pointy teeth, pretty eyes, can turn into a swarm of bats. You'll notice all three of those things are the perfect sexual partner.
Real quick, AJ, tell me, what is the appeal of a swarm
I will not elaborate on this. Nice try.
No, I want to know the intricacies of man on swarm of bats intimacy.
You're gonna put me on a fucking watch list.
I can take a guess. Is it like the
Stop! I don't want to go down this. Look, I said this thing, and if we go down this, it's gonna make both of us look horrible.
No, it's gonna make you look horrible. That's why I'm saying.
So we're gonna move on, because sometimes I just say things that I think are funny. I want to put a pin in this. I'm putting a pin in Trauma Centaur. Do you have a video game for me?
No, you give a game. I'm too busy laughing at you.
All right, are you ready for my nug contender?
Yeah. Yes. Man, I needed that laugh. That's a great way to start a Monday morning. Holy shit, I love it. All right, give me a game submission, please.
This submission comes from Claire et al. At Search Query. Claire suggests Final Fantasy Pistol Chronicles.
Let me tell you everything I know about Final Fantasy.
Okay.
Anime boys who just love wearing black. Shitty mustaches.
Yes.
And big swords.
Okay.
And see, none of those are really affiliated with gun.
I've got one more thing that you need to put on your list so that you know at least 4 things about Final Fantasy.
Sephiroth is fucky?
Chocobos are a thing.
Okay.
Although Sephiroth is fucky and there's nothing we can do about that one. He's just hot.
Okay. So are you going to just turn it into are you going to give Red Dead 2 levels of horse riding, but you're always on guns? It's just gun combat?
Okay, there are 2 steps that I'm going to make to Final Fantasy Pistol Chronicles that are going to turn this into our nuke. But let's just get a baseline of what Final Fantasy Pistol Chronicles is.
Okay.
It's an anime RPG where you're given a group of characters that are all fun and quirky and all have their own things.
It's just a troop of Promptos, that's it.
It's just a troop. Hold on. Well, there's going to be black-haired Prompto, red-haired Prompto, girl Prompto, and buff Prompto. But yes, they are all just Prompto, and they all have guns.
Okay.
And maybe we'll have a little bit more fun with this one by giving them all fun, different colored outfits, because this isn't Final Fantasy 15. I think that's important to know.
Okay.
And this is where the first step to my huge kick-ass plan goes.
Okay.
Instead of Final Fantasy 15, or instead of Final Fantasy Pistol Chronicles, Final Fantasy 16. Final Fantasy.
Wow, you just really blew my mind. Wait. I'm so blown away.
Final Fantasy 16 MM. Now the MM does
Am I supposed to be?
Okay, so 16 millimeters like a gun thing. That 16 millimeter is the measurement of a bullet. But
that's not the measurement of a bullet.
16 millimeter?
I don't think 16 millimeter is a caliber.
I think that's a gun thing.
No, 9 millimeter or 45 caliber is a gun thing. I don't think 16 millimeter is a.
That's okay, because here's the thing. Gamers like me don't know that. But the MM in Final Fantasy 16 MM does not stand for millimeter. It will look like it stands for millimeter. It stands for multimedia.
Okay, you've intrigued me. Please continue.
Now, you've heard me talk a lot about my criticisms for Final Fantasy 15. Mostly is that it won't just put its fucking story in the video game. Right? I want to know about these boys. Go watch the anime. I want to know what happened to the kingdom. Did you watch the movie? I want to know what happens to these boys in the rest of this video game. Try the DLC. What about Noctis's little boy childhood? Did you try the DLC 2 years ago? Or the demo 2 years ago? All of the good shit was taken out of the video game. I want to take this to its utmost logical extreme.
Okay.
I want to take everything possible that is important for the story of Final Fantasy 16 MM to be in the most buck wild, random, shitty multimedia things. Do you know where I was in Vegas this last week?
You were at the Pinball Hall?
I was in the Pinball Hall of Fame.
Uh-huh.
Do you know how many licensed pinball machines there are?
Hundreds, thousands.
Hundreds, thousands. Guardian of the Galaxy pinball machine, Pirates of the Caribbean pinball machine, Street Fighter 2 pinball machine.
So you're telling me you want to condense a 100-hour game into a pinball machine?
I want 1 hour of the 120-hour video game to be in the pinball machine.
All right, that's one down. What's our 119 other things to do?
Okay, comic books.
Okay.
We're gonna have a line of comic books.
Okay.
They will never be sold in comic shops. They will be digital comics that you have to hunt down through an ARG.
See, this actually...
And that will explain the relationship between the main character and their mom. The pinball game will explain the relationship between the main character and their brother.
See, this brings up a really cool thing. Have you ever heard of the story franchise Mother Horse Eyes?
No.
It was a really, really cool story where the writer would just post chapters in completely obscure Reddit pages.
Yes, that shit.
So like you would find it and they'd be like, what the fuck is this? And then you have to then you go to their account and see all of the other chapters posted in various other areas. And there was this really cool thing of like some chapters being lost forever because they would be deleted by mods. Because it's like, why are you posting this body horror like chapter in a food making thing? So maybe you can do something like that where it's like you're posting, hey, you want to see the... Oh my God, we bring it back to
You want to know how the main character
You want to bring it back? No, we got to bring it back to the early days of anime where it's like part one of 16 of like YouTube.
The YouTube series will be... There will be a YouTube series, you're damn right, and it will be posted in like broken up chunks.
Yeah, 3 minutes each.
You want to know how the main character feels about their closest and most confidant best friend? Is it romantic? Is it just a friend thing? I don't know. Find the back of the limited edition cereal box.
Okay, so you're not presenting a game, you're presenting an empire.
I'm proposing a multimedia experience.
Okay. Is it now here's the real important question. Is it at all doable? Because I feel like it shouldn't.
It shouldn't be doable,
because like, if you can do it, why continue playing at all?
Here's the thing, though. If there's one company that can get people to put this energy in for this shit...
It's Fortnite.
It's Square Enix. It's Final Fantasy.
You think so?
Yes, I do.
You think so?
Because there are 13 Kingdom Hearts video games that people have played all of, Blake.
Wow. Holy shit, that's a lot of Final Fantasy.
I spent my childhood watching my neighbors be like, well, I had to get a PSP so I could play the new Kingdom Hearts. And then in 3 days, I'm going to get a 3DS so I can play the new Kingdom Hearts. And I'm probably going to have to end up buying a new smartphone so I can play the mobile game of Kingdom Hearts.
Okay. You're onto something here. I like it. I
have another friend that bought Final Fantasy 15 3 times, bought the DVDs for the movie.
I know who you're referencing. I don't think they're a good example because they have bought...
No, it's not who you think.
It's not Skyrim?
It's not the same person that bought Skyrim 14 times.
Oh my God.
This is somebody else that bought Final Fantasy 15.
You know another?
Yeah, because
another whale?
Because they bought Final Fantasy 15, then they had to get it on a new platform, and then they got the Royal King Edition that had the DLC in it, which was needed for the story. Again, this is the most logical next step. I'm not talking out of my asshole here. I'm trying to beat Square Enix to the punch. Blake, what other crazy multimedia things can we get shit into?
I want to make up a music album where it actually... like Alan Wake, there's this really, really good song called The Poet and the Muse, which explains like basically the entire stories, like an entire game's worth of backstory in one song.
Yes.
I want to do that, but for a concept album.
So we'll have a concept album that's
and Patrick Stewart is the lead singer.
Canonically, red-haired big buff Prompto was the one that wrote it.
Oh, it was back when he was young. Like he wrote it when he was young.
And it's the reveal. Okay, I'm going to let you in.
Wait, no, AJ. I have the greatest story. I have the greatest story thing. The album is written in the far future, and he's recollecting on the events of the current events in the games. AJ, I was like so against you, but now I'm like really into this with you.
The fourth track has one line where in the middle of it, he's all like, and the main character's boyfriend was evil the whole time.
It's
and
like a major spoiler.
It's the hugest spoiler. And like the plot, when you play the actual game, there's a heel turn that the main protagonist's boyfriend makes just randomly for no fucking reason, period. And you will never, ever understand this
unless
if you don't
listen
to the album.
Holy the album is from his perspective. We do it rock opera style, like the Proto Men.
No,
and it's like showing his fall from grace.
The album is from the red-haired buff friend's perspective. If you want to get the boyfriend's perspective, that's going to be on the back of the cereal box. That will be his whole magnum fucking explanation of like, this is why I'm doing this. I'm evil because of this. I hope you enjoy your Captain Crunch, motherfucker.
Oh, no, bullshit. You know what it needs? It's got to be like that one artificial intelligence vlogger, but it's from the evil person's like point of view. So he runs his own vlog on the events behind the game.
The big villain.
The big villain who does the heel turn, you can see his like fall from grace over the course of his vlogs. So he goes from like vlogging like, man, I love my boyfriend so much. He's so cool. And then, you know, like all this stuff is like, man, I really hate my boyfriend now. I got to do a heel turn and I'm going to stab him, I guess.
And if you listen to the album, you knew that was coming. The pinball machine is how the main character feels about their mom.
Okay. Oh, you know, we do a Banksy method where they actually paint murals of famous scenes. So, like, across the world, like Kakata 33001, where you, like, it'll be like, at these locations, you'll have to connect all the images, all these murals to tell a complete story, like a comic book.
There's a time skip, and the main character and his best friend are like, man, I sure am glad that we saved all those orphans on a train. And, like, you as the player are like, what the fuck are they talking about? What orphans? And then, like, 2 levels in the game later, an orphan shows up and is like, I'm so glad you saved me from the evil dragon. And that story is depicted on a mural that you have to find that was never announced. It just exists. We've put the money there.
How about this, AJ? How about this? Because you and I recently found out my brother works for the anime as fuck food truck, the Okimasu or whatever.
Okamoto Kitchen?
Yeah, Okamoto Kitchen. I'm talking about next Anime Expo. You know what they're serving? Some themed dishes for our game. And you know what what's like our famous food, like chocobo sandwiches. Let's call it that because you eat chocobos, whatever. It's wrapped. The paper tissue that wraps the sandwich is a crucial piece of story
because the wrapper has something on there that says "Do not eat if you are allergic to chocobo meat." And there's a plot point in the game where the main character almost fucking dies for no reason because he ate chocobo meat.
No. That's like a fun little Easter egg. I want to do a thing where it's it is like if you don't read this, you don't get the next season of like content. It makes zero sense.
No, then how about this? I want an actual character death that never is explained.
Oh my god! On the sandwich wrapper?
On the sandwich wrapper. So maybe the guy that created the album, the red-haired buff friend, that wrote the album.
Prompto 2.
Electric. We gotta start naming these boys.
Let's call him.
What's our main character's name?
Let's call him Marcus.
Okay, Marcus. What's his boyfriend's name?
Max.
Okay. Oh man, you're really. Come on, try again. I'm not doing 2 unnames.
Let's call him Felix.
Okay,
Marcus and Felix.
Marcus and Felix. They're boyfriends.
Uh-huh.
Felix is going to make the heel turn at the end of the game that we know about because of his...
Real quick, is Marcus the good one or the bad one?
Marcus is the good one.
Okay,
Felix is the evil
one. Okay. Every evil character has an X in their name.
Yeah.
Did you know Sephiroth has an X in there, but it's silent, right?
It's a silent X. That's what makes the sound at the beginning. So Felix is evil, and we only know that because of his AI-based vlogging channel.
Yeah.
We know that he stabbed the main character, but we only know that the stabbing happened because of our Buff Friends album. What is our Buff Friends name?
I don't know. Okay, hold on.
Might I propose?
Real quick. I want to jump into another ARG element.
Okay.
Like, jumping back to that Reddit thing, you know, it'd be super cool. There's always the person in the group that's the cook. So the cook actually releases their recipes from every level of the game on various Reddit pages, but at the end of it, it's like you get a little quid bit of story. It's like, I made this for when Marcus's boyfriend Felix stabbed him in the back. this was like this is what his favorite food is, and this is what I did. But then you also get like other things of being like you get little story reveals. It's like
here's what I'm going to propose.
I had to kill 30 orphans to make this dish. So I don't know, something dark.
Yes, I like the idea that there's a cookbook filled with important lore.
Or it's just like blogs.
It can't be on Reddit. It needs to be something that we can sell. There's going to be an actual cookbook written by Chef Friend.
Okay.
And we're going to call him... What's the fucking guy from Hell's Kitchen?
Gordon.
Thank you. So that one's name is Gordon. And then the last one that's really, really buff, we're going to call...
Gordon Fieri.
Gordon Fieri. And then the last friend we're going to call... the big buff red friend...
which I realized Chad. Let's call him Chad. He's a Chad.
We have Chad. Yes.
But it's like something. It's like short for something like really elegant. Like,
Chadius.
I was Chadius. I was thinking Chadsworth.
Chadsworth or Chadius? Chadius Chadsworth. And when
My
it's
friends call me Chad.
And on the UI for his name, it just says Chad with a tiny number 2, like on the top right of it, like it's squared.
Oh fuck yeah, that's rad.
So, Chad has the album. Felix, who is our villain, has a vlogging channel.
Our main character has the pinball machines.
Main character has 2 pinball machines that are officially licensed.
Okay.
We have Gordon, who has an officially licensed cookbook that does explain why Chad's going to just fucking drop dead one day because of his horrible chocobo meat allergy.
Yeah, and that would explain he's the cook, and we get a famous cosplayer to be the main chef on that day at the Mokumasu kitchen.
And it's so important. It is never said. Like in the game cutscene, it's like they're gonna be sitting down to eat a meal. Like one of the characters is like, I'm sure and I'm glad to have a meal with all of my best friends. Smash cut to funeral. And
oh my god!
And it's never explained in game. We only know what happened if we went through the ARG of understanding that some people have a chocobo meat allergy.
Hey AJ, you know we've talked a lot about everything but the game.
Yes, that's what this is going to be like. We need to talk about what's the anime because we can't take the.
So you're telling me the game is going to be horrible and hollow, but all the ARG stuff is really fun.
Hey Blake, it's the natural next step to Final Fantasy 15.
Okay. I have one real big question for you. Because you know what the most I have only seen the beginning and the end of Final Fantasy 15. Because
You've seen the whole fucking video.
The most memorable thing for me was when they were pushing the car and they had like Adele singing "Stand by Me," right?
Yes.
Who are we? I think we should get Billie Eilish on this in this realm.
Billie Eilish canonically exists and is like super tight friends with Chad.
Holy shit! They like make music together, and then we get like on our concept album, she becomes like one of the characters, or so like she anytime Felix shows up, she represents Felix, like the evil voice or whatever.
Yes.
Like do it like fucking Dr. Light versus Dr. Wily in like
the Proto Men songs.
Proto Men Act 2.
Okay. This rules so hard.
Okay, so
there's an actual anime, 26-episode anime show. This show will express how the boys this show will be the romance between Marcus and Felix.
Okay.
It'll
be their backstory that leads them into the game.
Yes.
Okay.
The two of them, and I almost Marcus and Felix are in love and they love each other so very deeply.
What's their
and they kiss and hold hands all the time. Never in game.
What?
Only in the 26-episode anime series, you see them constantly kissing and constantly holding hands and being so very deeply in love with each other. We never see it in the base game.
Hey, you know, I want to toss this in because I think it's a fun visual, and you and I were talking about mechs before we were recording.
Yeah.
You know what I've never seen?
What?
I've never seen mechs hold hands.
Oh, their mechs will be holding hands all the time.
Their job before this whole series is they were mech people.
Yeah, that was a job.
Like they were like forklift loaders or something, and they had mechs, and then they would hold hands or whatever because that's cute and kind of badass, actually.
Their relationship will never actually be referenced or touched upon within the 120-hour video game.
How Netflix of you!
It's in the 26-episode anime series. Why didn't you watch that before you played the video game?
Who's going to be the streaming service for it? I think it should
Verve.
be... Yeah, it's like something not easily accessible as like Hulu or Netflix.
Something very accessible, something nobody has.
Oh, wait, no. I got a better one for you because I was just on set the other day. Apparently, I didn't know this was the thing. Did you know NBC Peacock has its own streaming service?
No.
Yeah, it's going to be... Our anime is going to be the first ever anime on NBC Peacock.
Wait, okay, I have one other possible proposition. I love the idea of it being on NBC's streaming service. Yes, absolutely. But I propose to you this.
Uh-huh.
It airs in Japan actually like weekly, like an actual TV show does.
Uh-huh.
Netflix gets the streaming rights. We'll have no fucking clue when the episodes actually launch for Netflix.
Oh, so it'll be like the Full Metal treatment where it'll be like upload half of the series and then wait 2 years and then it uploads the rest of it, I guess. Oh my god.
Exactly like that. Like it will be totally accessible through illegal means.
AJ, actually, you know what? I have a better idea for you. It is our original voice cast will be all Japanese. This is an all Japanese series, and then when it's translated, it tells a completely different story. But it also gives information that's usable for the series. So it'll be like the Japanese story is like, I don't know, it's
about how much Marcus and Felix love each other.
And then the other one is like it alludes to like their problems at the end. I don't know. It's hard. I don't know if it's going to be like that, but it'll just be like, it will include like little things in there. Or it could just be a giant blooper reel for our voice actors.
There will be scenes
like Ghost Story did.
There will be scenes that are entirely different based on the dub that explain like that Chad is like a fucking revolutionary that's against the like establishment within the kingdom. Again, never talked about in the actual video game, but it's all there in the...
We just think he's a basic-ass musician that hangs out with Billie Eilish all the time.
You guys didn't watch the German dub of the 26-episode anime? That was how you got Chad's backstory. Weird.
It was weird that they gave the backstory for Chad when he wasn't even on the screen. Like somebody else was talking, and I guess they're just talking about Chad.
It was just Marcus and Felix holding hands talking about Chad for 26 episodes.
All right, AJ, you've convinced me. This is pretty damn good. It's pretty damn good. Do you want to do a couple lightning rounds and then we can go to our boss fight?
I want to talk about other shitty things that we can do for this brand.
Let's do some lightning round because we're coming up on the end of the episode. So I want to do some lightning round stuff, and then we can jump into how we're going to add our boss fight to this, and then we can go from there.
All right, hit me.
Spore plus Monster Hunter. I want to do the game where you craft like, how cool would it be to be like, I feel like hunting an all poison monster right now, or a monster that is all in the water. So I'm going to craft the hardest fucking monster to fight, and then you have to go fight it, Monster Hunter style.
What I love about this more than anything is the idea of like crowd-generated monsters that all look like spore of like abominations.
Yeah.
You kill them, but then when you kill a spore abomination and it drops the beak, you actually get the beak asset, and then you can go back to the smithy and craft your armor. And your armor has to use the pieces that you just dropped off of the spore monsters. Like the same creator that is used for monsters
is how you place
accessories onto your armor.
So the pool of pieces you have to build your armor is the same pool of pieces you have to build the monsters.
Yeah.
So you can either say you collect one beak, you can only apply that once.
Yeah.
So like you decide, do I want to apply it to the next monster I'm going to fight, or do I want to apply it to my cool armor? Is it something I need, or is it something I can sell for other things?
If I want armor that's just like a million teeth covering my entire body, like a teeth bikini, I need to kill enough monsters that I get teeth for my teeth bikini.
Oh my god, I don't think you... Oh god, that gave me flashbacks. You ever heard of the TV series Channel Zero?
No.
They did this. It's like this anthology series that got canceled, but it was okay. It was like they would take famous creepypastas and make a TV season out of it. And the first one they did was Cottonwood Cove, and there's this human that's made completely out of teeth that eats teeth. And it is... you just gave me flashbacks to that,
I want to look that up so badly, but I think I will...
You'll vomit.
I think my body will shake in the same way that I watched your body shake as I talked about Teeth Bikinis.
That sounds like a great band name.
Oh, Teeth Bikini is a great band
Hey, everybody,
name.
We're Teeth Bikinis. We play lounge jazz.
A first-person... This comes from Fish Harlan, at Fish Harlan. A first-person shooter where you play as Cupid. And I want to combine that with another video game that Gazer suggested, at Just Gazer. Date night. You are a waiter trying to help all these dates go smoothly. And so I think that you're a waiter who is Cupid, and you're trying to make sure that, like, as people get their meals, they're falling in love with each other, too. So it's part diner dash, part third-person shooter.
Okay, so it'd be like, oh, how about this? So... It's each level gets increasingly difficult because you have more patrons you need to manage. One, you need to balance serving them to where they get to their loving point, and then when they reach that loving point, you only have like 10 seconds or like a couple seconds to react.
To hit them with the arrow.
That's when you hit with the arrow. That's like you're waiting for the best chances for the arrow to have the best effect. So it could be like, okay, you start first levels, you just have one couple, and then you have to figure out what they are in the mood for eating, all this stuff. And then you do that, and then they get to the tipping point, and then you shoot them with the arrow. Bam, level success. Level 100 is you're dealing with 50 people, and you're trying to like serve all of them and make sure they're okay. And then it's just like a cookie clicker thing where you just massive like soup Hanzo levels of arrow.
You'll see people playing this game on the subway, and you'll think, "Are they building in their entire email?" And they're just like tapping like absolute madmen.
Okay, you want me to give you another one?
Yes.
And this one comes to us from Kyra the Spyra at Kyra the Spyra, asymmetric shooter where one player plays the gun and the other plays as the bullets. I'm thinking Gungeon levels where like I can control waves of just like fiery red bullets, and you are just having to dodge them. It could be kind of like at the moment you walk into a room, like kind of what's that one?
So were you thinking competitive or co-op?
I
imagine this game was like a co-op thing. One person shoots and the other one steers bullets.
Oh, so you're like the gun and bullets from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, basically.
Yes.
So one person is the player, so they are in charge of not dying, while the other one is in charge of steering.
Yes.
Basically. Okay.
And trying to get as many kills as possible.
I like that. It can become complicated. So what happens if a person fires more than one bullet?
I think they're only able to fire one at a time.
Oh.
And that's why like it is like a competitive or a co-op thing. Like you said, one person is in charge of staying alive in the gun hell game, and the other one is in charge of defending and helping kill.
How about this? I think it'd be kind of cool where the bullet changes shape or activates or moves like a swarm. So like say you have a little Uzi and you fire it, and it fires a snake of bullets that now they can control as if it were a snake moving through the level. So it can like you can actually like move it to where you hit like 3 people at once, but with your whole body, and then once you hit one person, that bullet or group of bullets disappears.
Oh, I got it. It's like reverse snake.
Okay.
So let's say you're using a gun that has 12 shots.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that like at the beginning of the game, it's very small, like 3.
Yeah.
If you're playing the character that runs around and fires the gun, you fire the gun, and then I have 3 things I can hit before either one, I need to come back to you. And if I come back to you before I run out of the number of bullets I have, then you can reload the gun right then.
Mm-hmm.
Or I can go until I hit 3 things with those 3 bullets, and then you can reload.
You can also do a thing where the top of the magazine, you always have control of the topmost bullet in the gun. But once you are fired, the person will just fire their gun, and it'll just operate like normal bullets. So it could be like say the current power up you have right now is Snake. The first bullet that you fire will be controlled by player 2, but everything else will just work like regular.
Well, my thought was that that's how the whole game is. The game always uses the snake system.
I don't know. I think part of the fun for player 2 would be like, I want to play with this power right now. Like I want to do a thing where it's like an explosion shot, where it's like I move much faster and it's much harder to control, but the results are deadlier.
Who's in charge of getting the power-ups? The player that's dodging or the player that's the bullets?
I think the player that is the bullets. So like
okay.
the player who has control of like the person walking around will have to go and collect them, but once you have them in your inventory, the person who's operating the bullets can just cycle through them.
Oh, I see. That's cool.
Like it can chamber a different power-up, basically.
That's neat.
So,
okay.
All right. You got another little lightning round game before we return to our Final Fantasy game?
Final Fantasy 16 MM?
I don't know if 16 millimeter is a thing. I don't know.
I don't think I have another lightning round.
Okay. So, hey, Jay, you want to tell us about Boss Fight on our Patreon?
Yeah, sure. So right now on our Patreon, if you're part of our Patreon and you're in the Discord, we have a new channel called Boss Fights where you can submit your boss fight ideas, and we're going to use those bosses for the new nugs as of now going forward.
I mean, we used it last week, but like...
That's true. As of last week going forward. So let's see what our Patreons got for us.
You got a good boss fight for us? I have one for you. AJ, I have one for you. 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 I have one for you.
We'll bust you back.
Okay, so this one comes to us from Gazer on Discord. Thank you. Day 1A1. A very spicy bottle of rooster sauce. And you know how this is going to be our boss fight? It's going to be like you have to get through the whole bottle, and at the end of the bottle is a secret code that will allow you to access the boss. Okay. Like you can't beat the game until you finish this bottle of rooster sauce. How do we make sure that people don't just dump it out? Well, I guess if they just dump it out, we got their fucking money, huh? Yeah, if we're going by the we've made their money method, then yeah.
Yeah, I like that actually. What I like is like there's an ARG boss element to this.
Yeah, you can't. And AJ, you know what the final boss is for our main character? It's the thing they're allergic to. but they're on fire. It's a chocobo on fire is the final boss
well,
of this game.
Well, that's just Chad's final boss.
Wait, did they each get their own
Chad's
final boss?
the only one that was allergic to chocobo meat.
Oh, I thought they all take the final boss on at once. Are you saying each one of them gets their own?
Chad died before he got there.
Really?
Yeah, Chad died from chocobo meat.
Oh, shit, you're
right. You
right.
don't remember that?
Oh,
I
shit.
understand. It was just a really quick thing. Like, they sat down for a meal, they ate, and then a smash cut to a funeral. And I didn't really understand it on my first playthrough either.
Okay.
But luckily, I went to Okamoto Kitchen, and I got one of their tasty chocobo burgers, and on there it had a warning that said, hey, warning, can die from chocobo meat.
But
Chad.
But also, if you are lucky, they have a bottle of rooster sauce right there that you can add to your chocobo sandwich.
And if you slam the whole bottle, you can activate a DLC code, which gets Chad to live.
Yeah,
and
he comes back as a friendship spirit, like to help, like in like a
summon,
like Dark Souls, like where it's like I want to summon the spirit to help me out with this boss. So here, and this is what they do. This is how we get people to discuss it, right?
You guys didn't know that Chad Squared was on the same plane as Ifrit and Bahamut?
So this is how it works. Is at the food truck right there, they have this challenge. If you can suck all of this that sounds weird. If you can drink all of this hot sauce in one go, free dinner for life. And then people trying it, and then some people actually do it. Then they realize, imagine like the crowd at Anime Expo. It's like a crowd of like 100 people, and one person's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And then the crowd of 200 people being like, secret codes? Yes. Holy shit.
I don't think that it's for like, oh, free so-and-so for life. I think that like we're very blatant. You down this bottle of hot sauce in front of the employees right now, we will give you the code so that Chad can live.
Oh my God.
Like we're
No, I think it should be at the bottom of the bottle because that's how every other person will access it. And it's a unique code. Only one
it's still
code
a unique
works
code
for
and you
one
still
thing.
have to earn it.
Yeah.
But I want people to know that they have to actually try.
Oh my God.
I don't want it to be like a what? I want it to be like I want to generate FOMO. I want people to be like, damn it, I wish I got to drink a bottle of rooster sauce.
It's like me wishing I was in line last Anime Expo for Catherine food.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not on the bottle when you first launch it.
It's part of the promo deal.
It's part of the promo deal, but then as soon as the word gets out, then you release the bottles that people can go buy and then figure out whatever.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have some more I didn't think I'd crack that right out of the gate, but do you have another boss?
I do have another one. This comes from Andrew David. Just David Lynch? So hear me out. We're going to have a movie. You know, Final Fantasy VII had a movie. There's that one Final Fantasy the Ghosts Within movie that ruled super hard. The Final Fantasy 15 movie ruled super hard and is how you understand literally anything about the kingdom that Noctis comes from. Why the fuck is that in a movie and not the game? I've got problems with Final Fantasy 15.
You're like legit heated, actually.
I'm only able to make a parody of this so much because I hate so much about Final Fantasy 15. This is a defense mechanism, Blake. David Lynch is going to direct our movie for Final Fantasy 16 MM.
Really? You want it to be that? I was thinking like J.J. Abrams because he knows how to make mindfucky movies.
I want it to be David Lynch because David Lynch also does really mindfucky movies, right? This is the guy that did like Seven. This is the guy that did...
He did Twin Peaks.
Yeah, Twin Peaks. He did The First Fight Club. I don't know why I said The First Fight Club. There hasn't been a remake of that.
You're right.
And he did one of the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo movies.
Do you think... okay. What I was about to say is like, do you think he has enough anime knowledge? And then I was like, Dragon with the Tattoo, it has some anime sort of vibe to it.
Here's the question. I don't know what the movie's about, and I don't know what the movie should focus on.
We don't have to figure that out. We'll leave that to... We have so much money. We'll hire a writer.
Okay. The good news is that the boss fight is just David Lynch. And so what I think... what I think that this means is you have to watch the Final Fantasy 16 MM movie and understand what the hell David Lynch was trying to say in this movie that definitely has to do with poor people fighting against rich people. Because all of his movies do.
I have something more fun than that.
All of his movies are anti-establishment.
Okay, I have something more fun than that.
What do you got?
Hidden throughout various scenes in the movie are little keywords that you have to combine, which will then be the unlock to another hidden boss. All All of the kids, all of our 4 boys or 5 boys, each one of them have an unlockable code in various forms of media that you then have to do.
What I like about this is the bastardization of the system that was already in 15, where you had to buy DLC for all of them.
Yeah, but now it's a little bit more fun and
go
painstaking.
Into the real world, buy something with real money, and then they have to.
And you know what? And you know what it is? Each thing is visually unique. So each copy of the movie, those phrases are changed. So you can't just go online. You have to buy these things.
Same with the main character has those 2 licensed pinball machines. If you get the high score on the pinball machine, it will start to generate a code.
Yeah, it'll generate a code for you.
You have to write that code right then when that code is generated, letter by letter.
Oh my god.
And then go home and punch it in. The main character gets 2 secret bosses. One secret boss is against one of his parents, probably against his mom.
Okay.
The second secret boss is against his boyfriend. Now, I know what you're thinking. Didn't we say that the boyfriend made a heel turn in the final act and presumably would be the final boss so that you could understand the story of the video game? You're right. He would be the final boss and you need to fight him in order to play understand the video game. I hope you're good at pinball and can earn this high score.
It's a digital pinball machine.
No.
No, it has to be a digital.
It's a real pinball machine.
No. You play the real pinball machines to unlock a digital pinball machine
the final
in
boss.
the game, which is you are it's like fucking what's it called in
it's like the Sonic pinball levels.
No, in Ready Player One, where it's just him versus like the Lich King, and they're both playing like fucking joust against one another. The 2 boys are playing their favorite pinball machine together, because canonically that was the thing they would always do as soon as they got off of their mech duty.
Yeah, I remember that from the anime.
They went to the local pinball machine place and would always play and try and beat each other's high scores. So the final boss level is them playing against pinball against one another, but it's completely silent. There's no music. It's just you hear the.
I think that just because we need to make it a little bit art housey to reward players that actually give this much of a shit, there is a slow, somber song that is done by Billie Eilish in chat.
No, it's the song she sung at the Oscars for the obituary thing.
I'm the bad guy.
What? No. No.
So let's really quick, just a roadmap of everything that we know you need to do in order to understand.
No, we don't need to explain it. They get it.
I want to do this for my sake.
AJ, I've heard you give this analysis over and over again. We get it.
No, the analysis that we've just created for 16.
AJ, if you have to explain art, it's not art. Am I wrong?
I'm worried.
Art has no meaning. What are you talking about?
I'm worried that we lost it, so I just want to make a little list for my sake.
We didn't lose it.
You play the video game. You play the 2 pinball machines. You listen to the album. You drink the sauce. You watch the 26-episode anime. You watch the 26-episode anime again in German.
And Italian and Spanish.
You watch the movie.
And you get the codes, and that'll give you access to the final boss, which is Chocobo that killed him, and that'll give you like him as a ghost summon. But then after that battle, he actually comes back to life from the choke. He like Aaron from Attack on Titan, he claws himself out of the Chocobo into a physical form again.
And that's how you get Chad to the ending of the video game, and that's how you can unlock the secret end where Marcus and Phoenix
play pinball
against each other.
And then, and as soon as the game's over, when we beat his ass, the credits are just on the little LED that are on the pinball machine. So you see the credits of the game roll up like the high score menu.
That's some art house shit. That makes it art. I'm into it again.
That's
Final Fantasy 16 MM.
An ARG experience.
An ARG multimedia experience.
Hey, AJ, real quickly,
yeah?
Because this game is super complicated, should it have a super complicated title? It's not going to be on the list of the episode because, like, long titles I found out are super not great for art making. so it's Final Fantasy 16 millimeter, an ARG experience, an ARG movie anime gaming experience.
I think, unfortunately, just calling it multimedia really just...
You think so?
I think Final Fantasy 16 millimeter,
a multimedia experience.
David Lynch filmed the movie in 16 millimeter. I just want to put that out really quick.
It's shot in 16 millimeter. Okay, you've justified the 16 millimeter.
And they only use guns, and we mentioned before that they had mechs, and the mechs use big guns. That's how it's still.
No,
that's how it's still the Pistol Chronicles.
No. Oh, whoa, holy shit! We did lose that thread.
We lost the Pistol Chronicles part because I got really interested in the 16 millimeter.
I was thinking the mechs had some sort of pinball sort of vibe to them.
No, guns.
They have
the pinball is just a character thing.
Okay. That's a fucking game, dude.
It's not.
Holy no, you're right. It's so much more.
It is so much more than just a video game. I refuse to talk about the video game at all.
All right, are we ready to go to patch notes?
Yeah, let's go to patch notes.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to Patch Notes. If you like this game, make sure to give us a shout out on Twitter, or if you are very kind, leave us a review or a rating on iTunes. It really helps us out and keeps us on those charts. We are incredibly grateful.
Thank you all so much for listening. The intro and outro music we use is Cheap Shot by Anamanaguchi, an excellent song from an excellent band for an excellent game. I've been your host, AJ Hart.
And I have been your other host, Blake Rea.
This has been Spiritual Successor, and these are cool games
that should not be made.